All right, guys. Hey, welcome to another country mile travel update. We'll make this one kind of brief. I mainly wanted to do this, and I'm having some technical difficulty, so I have to actually go off of the internal mic as opposed to my stupid external mics here. So bear with me. Hopefully, you guys can hear. Um, there's no one on quite yet, so we'll give it just a few minutes to kind of see if anybody hops on. But regardless, this thing will record, so I think we'll be pretty good. But be back in a minute. Let's go ahead and open up with my favorite little tune. I love this thing; it's cool.
Love.
Exciting and new.
Come aboard. We're expecting you. The Love Boat. Soon we'll be making another run. The Love Boat promises something for everyone. What's for adventure? You'll find a new romance. And love won't hurt anymore. On a friendly shore is love. Welcome aboard is love.
All right, so even though this is more about all inclusives and stuff, I kind of wanted to include some of the comments that I couldn't put in my videos that I posted. I posted a bunch of them, and I'm still not done yet, to tell you the truth. But that was just the Love Boat video. I love it. I thought that was the best one they could have made. But that was with Princess. Of course, Princess is the premiere of the original Love Boat. Started back in the day. But anyhow, so just recently I went on what they call a fam trip. It's a familiarization trip offered by our suppliers, and we got to go to the Cancun area where we toured a bunch of resorts, and some of them in Costa Mujeres, some of them in Cancun proper, in the hotel zone. So there's a whole bunch of them out there in that area as well too. They're pretty much all next to each other. But some of you guys have already seen the pictures that I posted, as well as the videos and stuff too. But like I said, those YouTube videos and the way that I recorded them, it didn't give me much time to kind of explain some of what was going on. But as we were walking through, I mean, it wasn't brutal heat. I think it was actually cooler there than it is here in Corpus Christi, here on Padre Island, because it's it got up to like 103, I think, and the heat index was somewhere around 110. So it definitely wasn't there, but it was close. And the humidity is pretty much the same over there. My passport's all warped because of the humidity out there. But we toured the Riu Palace Peninsula, the Riu Palace Kukulkan. We went to the Garza Blanca resort, the Atelier resort, and TRS hotels. TRS, I think it's TRS Coral. And then we toured some other places as well too. But so some of the finer points that I want to definitely put out about those resorts is there's, and I'm real careful to use this, but there's some what I like to call entry level type resorts where, you know, I mean the non-extremely demanding customer, as opposed to the customer, it's just, hey, you know, this is a great property, there's a lot of stuff for us to do, as opposed to, hey, I want top shelf stuff. I want high level suites. I want a private beach area, things like that. So, um, uh, with that, like the Rio Resorts as a whole is a great property. We stayed at the Rio Latino in Costa Mujeres, and myself and my buddy Ryan, fellow travel agent, we roomed together, and we got to go tour all these resorts and stuff. And we actually went live from Costa Mujeres. If you guys saw that live, that was the night that I had to fly back out, and I had to wake up at 5 in the morning. So that was rough. But the Rio Latino, if you haven't seen the videos, go take a look at the videos tonight. They're posted on my YouTube just look up the Country Mile Travels. And by the way, like, share, and subscribe, please. I need some more subscribers. But those videos are getting so many views. And it's great. It's what I wanted. Put the word out, basically, right? But the Rio Latino, if you look at the videos, it wasn't bad at all. We had a great time there. The beds were extremely comfortable. There's a couch there as well with a coffee table, a flat screen TV. But I mean, most of the time we're not there. We're not there in the room. And the normal family, or actually, to tell you the truth, the Rio Latino is an all adults resort. So that means if you book that all adults resort, the neighboring hotel next door is the Rio Dunamar. That means you can go over. You have access to the Rio Dunamar. All right, but not vice versa. If you book the Rio Dunamar, which is a family resort, you don't have access to the Rio Latino, and that's the way most of these resorts operate. Now, I'm sure you can buy a day pass to go in there and stuff too, but if you book an adults only resort, you can go to the neighboring family resort that's part of that chain anyway, right? Just not any one. But if you book a family resort, you cannot go into the adults only resort, just because there's a bunch of loud music, drinking, dancing, stuff like that going on. So it's just not for families and things of that sort. So that's why they have two separate things. Now, I'm not going to tell you that doesn't go on over at a family resort as well too, right? It's just a little more controlled. But yeah, I mean, you can, if that's your thing, you drink to your heart's content. If not, that's fine as well too. Having a glass of Rebecca Creek whiskey myself right now, because it's a Friday night. Why not? But the Rio Latino, they had, I think, 3 pools, right? One way off to the left, which was reserved for, I mean, you can still go play and all that kind of stuff in the pool over there. But that's where they did a lot of water sports. So if you wanted to really go ahead it with pool volleyball, and polo or whatever, right? I mean, synchronized swimming, I don't know. But I never really made it over there. But that's reserved for sports, for those that want to play some team sports and do some get together type of events and stuff. And it's great for groups and stuff too, because that's where you go and you'll be able to hang out with your pack and play whatever water sports you want to there. Now, the next pool over, which is in my video, of course, because that's the first place I made it to once I dropped my bags. But we went where there was a swim up bar there, and then it was a huge pool. It had a bunch of submerged bars that everybody can find a seat at and everything like that. But of course, everybody's wandering around, just talking, socializing, and all that stuff. It was just a lot of action going on. The swim bar, it's where you can go get your drinks, all that stuff. They make everything margarita. I mean, you name it, right? Margaritas. If you wanted an old fashioned, there probably wouldn't be exacting to any standards by any means, but they'd probably do it for you. Any kind of those fruity drinks, things like that, right? They make all those there. Shots, definitely. But also, if you wanted to, you could go around to the back side of that swim-up bar, and they had another bar over there on that side too, where you can grab a table, sit down, just chill out in the shade, with the backdrop being the beach, the Caribbean. But you can get a beer, drink, whatever over there as well too. So it was kind of double sided. It was kind of pass through if you think about it. They had the music playing and people getting not really rowdy, just really didn't get out of control at all. Just everybody drinking, having a good time. We talked to all kinds of people there. Some Australian people there, some British as well, and so everybody from all walks of life was there. Just socialize, shake hands, have a good time. But then there was that pool, and then next to that was what I call the quiet pool. There's no music playing over there. There's lots of chairs. They had some cabanas there if you want to do that thing. I think those are probably a little extra charged, maybe, but I don't know. We never went that way. But I hung up. I think the day before I left, we hung out in that pool and had some quiet time, and we all just laid out and got burnt. And next to it was 4 or 5 slides. I think 5 slides, 5 water slides, and they were huge. One of them, me and Ryan kept going down that. We probably went down each slide probably about 5 or 6 times. We just went nuts, and it wore us out too. My body was sore after that. But some of the slides, like one of them, would eject you out, and you weren't touching slide anymore, and all of a sudden you went back down the slide and slid down. So it was they weren't boring at all. They were pretty fun, and in fact, like I said, it wore your body out because you have to keep a tight body position going through there. And they won't let any jewelry, sunglasses, hats, shoes, flip-flops, things like that, nothing like that. And the slides, just for obvious reasons. But I was a little disappointed because I wanted to bring the GoPro in on that. But that, you could walk back out come into that quiet pool area and lay out right there, or go back to where the action was at the swim-up bar pool. But then at night, they had, and once again, if you refer to my Rio Latino video, which is all over my Facebook, Country Mile Travel Facebook, but we went down, they had a huge bar, then they had a huge stage there, and then behind it they had a separate stage and then a separate bar as well too. So there's some nights where they really pile on the theatrics and stuff as well. So they're using both of those stages. But that huge stage, they had a very, man, I wish I remember his name. I got a recording of it. I think I need to refer to it, but I remember his name, and I'm sure some of the older gents will probably remember him as well, because apparently he's been singing for 35 years plus. So great singer. We had a blast watching him. But then afterward, they brought in an act with people dancing, doing different nationalities of dancing, I guess you can say, right? Irish dancing, and then they went into Spain, and then like Japan and some other things too, I think. That was a great show. Pretty entertaining, but the action ends there at 11, I believe, and then everybody can meander over to the little dance club, right? They're playing all the R&B hits, all that kind of stuff in there. And then also further down, they had a sports bar open, and then like a piano bar, a little quieter piano bar and stuff too. So there's stuff to do once those festivities end at 11 o'clock. There's stuff to do at those other bars until 3 o'clock in the morning. I think me and Ryan, we tried, but it didn't work. We got tired. So there's a lot to do there. They do have several masseuses, right? That if you want to get a massage, you can. I think I paid $117 for a deep tissue massage, which wasn't bad at all. And they were laughing as I was walking off because, for one, there's uneasy footing on the beach, but two, I almost didn't know where the heck I was. I was so out of it. So it was a great massage. Of course, after the massage, I went back to the pool and went nuts drinking and all that kind of stuff. So we had a good time. But on the beach, they had like the banana boat pulled by a jet ski, which that also made my body sore the next day. Because of course, that exercise every dadgone muscle you can imagine to stay on. They have handles and everything like that, but of course that guy, even though you tell him slow down, he's trying to knock you off, right? He's trying to give you a little bit of fun, so it's not a big deal. It wasn't a bad thing by any means, but it wore me out. And I do have pretty good footage of that because they flew a drone, and I think we purchased the drone footage, and I took a GoPro too, so there's some GoPro coverage of me taking a spill, which is pretty funny. They rent jet skis. They even have little mini catamarans out there, and in fact, they give classes on how to sail on those catamarans. And then you could rent the catamarans as well too. It's a little bit more, I believe, but any motorized water sports, not really cost, but just costs. But other than that, the restaurants, most of these restaurants at these all-inclusives, just because there's so many people staying there, and I get it, I totally get it. Seeing the massive changeover going on there, I can see why they do buffet style. It's just the best way to get food out, and they pay attention. That food is kind of cold or it's been sitting there a while. They take it out, regardless of what's in there. Put a new bin in there full of fresh food. So for breakfast, we went, and it was buffet style, and it was just massive buffet. I mean, they had everything you can think of there for breakfast. Coffee, juice, Coke, sodas, whatever. They had all that as well too. And we had to fill up because, man, we're sweating our butts off every day touring these resorts. But then they had Mexican themed restaurants. They had Japanese slash, I call it Japanese, but it's just more Asian in general, I believe. And then they had Italian and one other one, but they're all buffet style, pertaining to the nationality model that they were, running the restaurant in. And you can order entrees. They had certain entrees there that you could order as well too, in addition to the buffet. And there was no extra charge. That was just, the entrees that they had planned. So just keep that in mind. That's for Rio Latino, Rio Dunamore. I think Rio hotels in general do it that way, but mostly most of the all-inclusive resorts and just in Mexico alone, that's what they do. And like I said, I get it. It's because it's just a lot going on. There's just no way they'd be wasting more food than doing anything other than that. So, and it would be hard to catch up because there's a huge turnover. We went to Rio Palace Kukulkan in downtown Cancun, what I call Cancun proper. It's in the hotel zone. It's not far from the Cancun airport, as opposed to the Rio Latino, which is in Costa Mujeres, which is about 40 minutes away. So when, with that in mind, something else that I like to talk about is that when I book an all-inclusive resort stay for you guys, I always include the transfers. The transfers are a ride from the airport to the hotel, and it's set up to bring you back to the airport afterward as well too. Okay, so I usually book those transfers as well too. They're not extremely pricey at all, but then again, think about it. It's an air-conditioned van. It's shared unless you want your own, then we can do that as well. Cost changes just a little bit, but there's shared and personal transfers, so we can do that. Most of it's handled by Nexus Tours in Mexico, so we can get that set up for you. No issues at all. Make it part of the package. We're good to go. But yeah, we went to the Rio Palace Kukulkan. The Rio Palace Kukulkan was also a great property. I thought it was, I thought it was definitely above average. and I would recommend that. The Kukulkan is a family resort, so but of course they still no wait, Kukulkan I believe was adults only because that one had the liquor dispenser in that one, so in the room. So to go over the liquor dispenser, in fact, um, if you refer to one of my videos, you'll see liquor dispensers there in the rooms, and liquor dispensers in the rooms are indicative of an adults only joint. Um, and they have tequila, rum, gin, and something else. I can't remember what the heck it was, man. Honestly, I don't know what it was. I didn't touch it. But I drank the rum and tequila. um, in our room, by the way, not in the rooms that we were visiting. So, but we toured some of the suites there, and the suites are awesome. Junior suite and elite club level suites are just spacious rooms, right? All these rooms have um, an open plan type bathroom, so you can slide the covers around. You want some privacy and stuff to close off the bathroom, but it's an open floor bathroom, so um, just keep that in mind, especially with the suites. That's just how they're able to include a little bit more square footage in there. Um, Huge balconies. If you want an ocean facing balcony, that's something that you have to communicate to me if you want to book through me. Most time, if you say you want a balcony, I'm going to find an ocean view one. But let me know if you don't or if you do, because the cost changes just a little bit. Um, Rooftop bars, they all have rooftop bars out there overlooking the water and stuff too. Um, the same thing with Ryu Palace Peninsula, which was just down the street. Same thing, but the Ryu Palace Peninsula was, their color theme was, I think, purple and gray and purple and black, something like that. And I told Ryan when we walked in there, I'm like, man, this kind of reminds me of a Vegas casino hotel, which is not bad at all. That's just reminiscent, right? I mean, that's just what I remember. So it kind of took me back a little bit. It's kind of cool. We toured the rooms. Of course, that property is slightly older, so it's still not bad at all. I would stay there, but I kind of like luxury, so I would probably stay at some of the other places I'm just about to talk about. But for good value and still good relaxation and luxury, all these properties that I toured were A plus. There's no reason why I wouldn't, right? But then we also went to the Garza Blanca, which the Garza Blanca is, I don't know if it's counted as a luxury resort, but it's definitely going to be a step up in pricing, I'm sure. The rooms were immaculate. We toured the suites, the regular sized rooms. We couldn't go in there just for time, but we toured the suites, and those things were gargantuan. You're talking about 2 floors, had 2 full bedrooms, had a sitting area, all this stuff, right? So, but believe it or not, these suites are still affordable, even outside of thinking of that luxury type of thing and stuff. They're still pretty dang affordable. So, but you can imagine they're gonna still be higher than just that regular room. So just keep that in mind. But we can look at pricing for every level of room if you want. And usually it's a minimum of 3 night stay. But if you want to stay longer, you stay longer. I've seen couples stay there for 10 days plus. I just don't have that kind of time off. The Garza Blanca, one of the finer points I liked in that is that they had a bar, and every lobby of every all-inclusive has a bar in the lobby, just because guess what, you don't want to go to the bar, or you don't want to go to a club, you don't want to go to the pool, you want to go do you go to the lobby and just sit down and people watch and socialize and whatever and have a drink, because there's a bar right there as well too, right? So you can sit in all those couches. Once again, refer to my video, you see how large and open all those lobbies were. But the finer point of the Garza Blanca was the display cases with porterhouse, cowboy cut steaks, tomahawk steaks, things of that sort, uncut, still sitting in there, right? So, and then they had the brand new Himalayan salt blocks on the bottom, ready to go. So they definitely have a steakhouse, that's for sure. I don't know. I didn't get to inquire about the price of those steaks, but they were probably pretty hefty. But the Garza Blanca is one of the top ones on my list. I want to plan a trip to go there and go stay for a few nights and just relax over there, because that place is one of my favorites. The Atelier Hotel and Resort, I got there too late. They had already toured that, but I've been through the Atelier before. The Atelier is also top notch. It's right up there with the Garza Blanca as well. So that's something you want to look at as well. So when you tell me, hey Art, I want to book an all-inclusive resort stay, first thing I'm going to ask you is like, hey, do you want luxury? Just want something to go hang out down there and go to the beach and be with the family and all that kind of stuff, right? So you tell me value or luxury, then that kind of helps direct me where I need to go. But then we went to the TRS Hotel and Resort, back up towards Costa Mujeres, closer to where we were staying at the Latino. TRS hotels, I like it. Those suites in there are awesome. They're great. Rafa Nadal, he's a famous tennis player, but I guess he sponsors. He's kind of co-sponsor on that resort. He offers tennis lessons. I believe if you rent one of their higher level suites, you get a 1 hour tennis lesson every day included in that price as well too. So if you're a huge tennis player, that's the place to go. Huge tennis facility out there. It's a little walk to the beach, right? I mean, it's there, but I just thought it was a little further walk. But I can see why, because they have a river going through there with boats going down that river. We saw a boat going by full of people in tuxes and in a wedding dress and gowns and all kinds of stuff. So, and I felt bad for those guys because they were probably burning up because it was hot. But they're riding the boat over to the wedding facility to go get married. So, thought that was cool. And then you see the video. You see my old pet iguana, which I scared somebody with while I was there. So another story for another time. So TRS hotels, it's in the middle of my list, just because the walking distance to the beach. But regardless, it's there. You can still see it from your room. And once again, they have a French bistro, Italian bistro. They have a jazz bar. I like all kinds of stuff, right? Themed restaurants, themed bars there. So once again, you're looking close to luxury. That's probably going to be one of those. But where else did we go? Oh, Planet Hollywood. Okay, so we went to Planet Hollywood, which I don't think is an all-inclusive, because everything they were telling us there was for an extra cost. And I'm not one for themey type resorts, especially if you're going to like Cancun, Mexico. The last thing I want to do is go stay where, there's just a theme shoved down your throat and everything. And that's what I felt about this place. The pool area was awesome. If you want to get married there, they have excellent wedding facility and wedding planners. It will definitely do. It's not a bad hotel. It's just not my taste, which I don't think would be some y'all's taste as well too. But if you like that, it's a rock themed hotel and resort, so it's okay. I just thought that everything there just cost money, and you already spent a good chunk getting there. So just something to think about. Planet Hollywood has huge cabanas. They had a huge hot tub that you get to push the button and reset all the time and stuff, and then even the pool, you get to push the button and turn the jets on the pool or turn them off, whatever the case may be. So, but that it's a great resort. It's just something I'd have to be in the mood in, I guess you could say. Um, but other than that, I missed a few hotels, which is fine because I just wanted to get you the finer points of what I couldn't say in my YouTube and my Facebook videos. But one major tip is, they have ATMs there and they dispense dollars as well as pesos, but whichever you choose to pull out. When you buy your drink, I would tip people. If they do something for you, tip them. The transfer that takes you from the airport, tip them. Even if it's a couple bucks, it's better than nothing. But it shows your appreciation because every single one of these people that were there at all these resorts, they were there with a smile on their face, and they just wanted to help so much. And you know, there were a few times I didn't have cash on me, and I felt bad. I just wanted to tip them a buck or two, But they don't bother you for tips, but they definitely appreciate those. So I mean, I would my tip would be to draw at 100 and go get some change, and that should last your whole trip. Give a buck or two here and there whenever you get a drink, things like that too. So the fridge bars and most of these all inclusives, the fridge bars, I know, a lot of the times I'm afraid to touch the fridge bar until it's confirmed. Hey, I'm not going to get charged $80 for a beer, right? The uh, You can open up the fridge. You see in my video as well too. There's a bunch of Dos Equis there. There's bottles of Pepsi, huge bottles of water, which of course you're going to need. And there's 2 bottles of water on top of the fridge as well. With the coffee maker, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, you and I both know we don't touch hotel coffee makers. Um, so yeah, that part of the whole thing is it's part of the package. A bunch of Dos Equis in there to drink, and they keep restocking them every day as long as you let the cleaning lady in there, right? But yeah, my biggest travel tip would be draw out some money and keep them dollars on you. Just tip them. They'll gladly accept dollars because of course it converts into something better for them in the long run. But I mean, they'll take pesos as well too. Keep in mind, if you're going to anywhere in Costa Mujeres, the Mexican taxis cost about 2,600 pesos, which is about 130. And of course, he charged me 150 going to where I was going, but I didn't care. He stopped and bought me a few beers on the way down, so because it was going to be a long ride. And I told him I had a rough time. I got delayed in. That's the reason why I came in late, because I got delayed in Atlanta, which probably missed my connecting flight, and because it was an international flight, I missed it, and that was it. So Delta automatically got me a hotel and travel voucher, all that kind of stuff. I'd stay a night in Atlanta, which wasn't too terrible. So I guess with that being said, another tip would be if you can find a nonstop, do that. A direct, do that. But of course, for the sake of saving money, we all don't mind taking a connection, right? 2 or 3 be kind of stretching it, but American, Delta, Southwest, they all have directs. You just gotta, and if you're flying from here in Corpus, you're just not going to get a direct, man. There's just no way, right? Out of Corpus right now, it kind of sucks. You get a direct to Denver, and I think they're planning a direct to Vegas, but that's it for now. So they're kind of slacking on that. We'll find out what kind of deals come out of that, but not expecting much. So Southwest, you'll connect in Houston. Think American, you connect in DFW, and then boom, you're off. But you still get there in a reasonable amount of time. But I would always shoot for a direct if you can. Other than that, I have some other trips planned. I got to see if I can get time off for it. But Aruba's coming up next, and I think we're taking the family to Riviera Maya, which is a little ways, just a little bit of ways from Cancun. But we're going to Riviera Maya for a vacation, for a family vacation. So we'll have a blast there. And I'm also, because of course they found out I was a travel agent, they want to do a site tour. So I'm going to do a site tour there, and I'm going to bring all the production equipment and do some recordings there. see if we can't push out another video too for YouTube and Facebook. But I was hoping there'd be a lot more people on right now to answer any kind of questions and stuff. But we're doing all right on time, so I am going to just remind you guys that hey, I book trips, adventure trips internationally. I mean, if you want to go hiking in Peru, I can get it set up. I have a supplier that does all that kind of stuff. You want to go to Peru, Ecuador. I mean, you want to go to Antarctica and go hang out with the penguins and all that kind of stuff. I can get that done as well. So I do adventure travel, any kind of European travel, things like that. International travel, we can do that as well too. Doesn't have to include all-inclusive resorts. But now that we talk about resorts, they do have one in Macau. Some of these nondescript places too, right? So just keep that in mind. But I do cruises as well, and those are going real quick right now. I mean, cruises, they're increasing their price on cruises, so just keep that in mind. But one other thing to definitely keep in mind is that when booking with me does not mean you get a massive deal. Okay, that means I get that comment a lot, like, hey Art, I logged on the website and I got that same price. I'm like, I understand that. Sometimes I can get the deals, sometimes I can't. Sometimes I'll get the exact same price that you're seeing, but I don't charge any extra, right? You throw that headache on me, and that's what I do. I plan it for you, and then you say yes, you stamp your seal of approval, and we get it paid for, and boom, you're done, you're out. So keep that in mind. I mean, I just because I'm a travel agent, just because anybody else around here is a travel agent, don't let them fool you. They can't always fish for the deals. So we're mainly here to take the headache off of you and get that trip planned, because we're the destination experts. If you need a destination wedding, I can plan that as well too. So you want to put together group travel somewhere. You might say you want to take a group to Cabo, a group of 50 or whatever. I mean, we could plan that as well too. And usually groups, you do see a little bit of savings with it too. So keep that in mind. Savings do come in numbers. But other than that, I just wanted to kind of go over that for a little while. And another thing, please, everybody, on my Facebook, I do have, hey, sign up, right? If you want more information, you fill out this selective information, and then it sends it to me, okay? And I do call you, I do email you, I do text you. So if you don't want to be contacted, don't fill out that form, please, okay? But if you do want to be contacted, feel confident that I will be in touch with you very soon. So other than that, I appreciate you guys' time, and being by the 0 up there. That means no one really had any time, which is good. It's okay, because this is getting recorded. But this is Art Wallace, the owner of Country Mile Travel. Just telling you, like, hey, if you guys want a trip, give me a call, email me, text me, call me, all that kind of stuff. All right, we'll get you handled. And just remember, don't just travel, go the country mile. Thanks a lot, guys. We will talk to you again soon. I'm going to get to this drink here, and it's a Friday night, so we'll see what that brings. So thanks a lot, guys. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Leave some comments. Share this stuff. Share all of my content on the Facebook page. I mean, share it. It's fine. Share it. Let somebody that needs that information grab it. And go to my YouTube, The Country Mile Travels, and like, share, and subscribe on there as well. And help me out. Let's get the word out a little bit more here, and we'll get everybody handled. Okay, once again, don't just travel, go the country mile. Thanks again. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time. We'll keep doing these lives. But leave a comment below what you think and all kinds of stuff, and we'll go from there. What you want to see, all right? What you want to see, and we'll go from there as well too. Thanks a lot. Take care.